Watch the inspector while I run this macro. The effect gets applied to the clip, and then its parameters set themselves: a number, a checkbox, a menu entry. 3 clips, same treatment, same values. Applying an effect we could already do. That's video 30. Getting inside its fields, no. That's what's new today. Quick recap. The DaVinci Apply Effect action searches for an effect in the effects library and applies it. Pick which folder to search: Toolbox, Resolve FX, Open FX, Audio FX. Type the name, Today Lens Blur, and say how to apply it. Just find it, double-click, or drag it. And now, 3 things worth a month of trial and error. First, that tree is walked with the keyboard, counting steps. Everything collapses first, then it steps down the right number of rungs. The count only holds if the folders are closed, so leave the tree collapsed before you run the macro. Leave one branch open and the steps land on another folder, and you end up looking for the effect where it isn't. Second, if you have third-party plugins, the library grows an extra folder, OpenFX, and that shifts every count. Which is why inside Magic Automa, in the DaVinci settings, there's a checkbox where you tell it that folder exists. It is the only honest way. We do not read the tree, we count it. Third, a drag does not end where the mouse is. It ends on the last spot you clicked in DaVinci, frozen when a macro starts. And now the source spot. The effect is on the clip, but an effect is 30 parameters, split into sections that open and close, with names that change completely from one effect to the next. There's no fixed list you could bake into a program. Every plugin has its own, and your third-party plugin has names I've never seen. So the right question isn't, which parameters do you support? It's, how do I tell it this field here? The answer is this button. Pick it from DaVinci. You press it, and the program starts watching. Go to the inspector and hover over the fields, whichever one you're about to take lights up with a green box. You click, and the row appears in the table, already written, what the parameter is called, which section it lives in, what type it is, and what it's set to right now. All you have to change is the value. It works if you click the label instead of the field too, because it finds the row by position. Rows are applied in order, top to bottom, and each one knows what kind of field it is. A numeric wants a number. A checkbox wants yes or no. A drop-down wants the text of the option or its position. And here's a detail I like. The entry isn't clicked in the pop-up, it's typed and matched because DaVinci's drop-downs are virtual lists and clicking inside them grabs the wrong entry. At the end, it reads the field back and tells you which option it actually landed on. A text field wants text, and a row with no value on a button presses it. Then 2 practical things. If 2 parameters share a name in different sections, which happens a lot, think source and target. The cell doesn't just show the name, it shows section, arrow name. The picker already took care of that. And if the fields sit inside closed sections, the checkbox at the bottom opens them before searching. If you know they're already open, untick it and go faster. One last thing you only notice with a stopwatch. Putting 3 parameters in a single action costs half of what 3 separate actions cost, because the inspector is navigated once for all the rows. One field you haven't looked at yet, the panel. Because an effect can live in different places in the inspector. In the effects section, it has 3 tabs: OpenFX, Fusion, and Audio. And then there are transitions, which sit on their own. Transitions have a quirk worth knowing. If you select the transition, the parameters are right there. If you select one of the 2 clips it touches, you get the start and end tabs. The good news is you'll hardly ever touch this drop-down. When you pick a field with the picker, it works out the panel from where you clicked and sets itself. To recap, one action applies the effect, the other sets its fields, and you don't type those fields from memory. You pick them off the inspector with the mouse, name, section, and value already in. If you want the full recap of effects, LUTs, stabilizer, and retime, that's video 30. Subscribe, and see you next time.